All right, so this is a suggestion via donation. The name of the video is exposing the darkest secrets on Family Matters. That shocked fans. I know why you said this to me, bro. I know why. All right, let's do it. Let's just go ahead and get the elephant out of the room, okay? This is my father. All right? That's it. Let's move on.
It's a rare condition this day.
To the point where, on TikTok, my name is even Carl Winslow. You didn't know, guys? I thought everyone knew these things, right? This is why that's why all the jokes are always coming, right? I figured that's what it was.
Hi, Carl.
Don't you think you ought to start calling me Mr. Winslow?
Yeah,
No.
That's what my parents Herb and Diane tell me.
Was the Family Matters cast unhappy? The Winslow family looked fine on screen, but was there a dark secret lurking behind the show? Family Matters made everybody happy, with Steve Urkel exclaiming,
Did I do that? Did I do that? Did I do that?
in every scene. But there was a lot of stuff going on behind the screen. From tensions on the set to former stars of the show turning to...
Oh, she nasty. She's nasty. Oh, yeah. Don't Google her.
happy
Listen, why'd you have to say that, though?
Winslow family was not what it appeared to be. Did these hidden controversies take Family Matters off the air? Let us find out. Family Matters, a spin-off of Perfect Strangers, was different from most other sitcoms of the day. It had an all-black cast, and the characters were well-thought-out people. The family's father, Carl Winslow, a Chicago cop, and his wife, Harriet, were there.
Everybody.
I could have sworn I locked that door.
While Steve, the ultra-nerd, was from next door. Winslow's 3 children attracted much attention: Eddie, Laura, and their youngest, Judy. Let us look at tensions between actors, disagreements with the studio, and what unfortunate things happened to some of the cast members. Steve looks like a funny guy. Despite the appearance, was it difficult to get along with him? When Steve Urkel appeared on the show with his catchphrase, the show changed its direction. Steve was in demand, and the producers made him so prominent that there was little airtime for anyone else.
Right.
Speaking to Entertainment Tonight,
Yeah, listen, she did not. I don't think she liked Steve at all, bro. I don't think so.
actress Marie Payton, who played Harriet Winslow in the show, said that Steve Urkel tried to fight her physically once on the set.
Really?
She felt that Jaleel White's quick ascent to stardom affected his attitude with the cast and crew.
Of course it did.
Do you remember the one time Harriet Winslow scolded Steve in the show?
You better check that attitude at the door.
Their relationship off-screen was similar.
He didn't have the etiquette that maybe I and some others had. There was one time he actually wanted to physically fight me. I was going to go in there and whip his behind. I was going to whip his behind.
No, you weren't.
Marie said it was season 9. In the episode Original Gangster Dog, the script contained a fight scene.
Oh, guys, really quickly, somebody asked me, why don't you grow your hair, right? Why do you always shave your hair off? This is why. What do I look like, bro? I'm not doing that.
Being a seasoned actress, Marie felt they should not do it since the standards and practices guidelines would not allow the airing of the scene. But Steve Urkel was adamant. He wanted to go ahead with the fight scene. Steve Urkel got mad and started kicking and screaming on the set, wanting to fight Marie physically. She was so upset by the incident, she decided to leave the set. As she was leaving, she overheard Jaleel White commenting that she must be wanting to fight. That got her mad. Marie turned around, wanting to give a good whipping to Jaleel White's back. She would have done it, but Darius McCrary, who was nearby, grabbed her. Payton understood that Jaleel White was just a kid then, but it was a close call. He almost got whipped.
Working with him was a challenge. There were some moments when he was a little difficult, but overall, I have nothing but good memories for him.
Family Matters started as a Winslow family drama in 1989. But when it went off air in 1998, the show was no longer about the Winslows. Their neighbor, Steve Urkel, had taken over the show.
Absolutely, he did.
Did the cast take the shift of change in direction well? Producers Bill Bickley and Michael Warren liked the attention Steve Urkel was drawing to the show so much, they wanted to make Family Matters all about him. At first, Steve was the super nerd from next door who had a crush on teenager Laura. The next thing you know, the rest of the cast were just props around the show, supporting Steve Urkel as he went about his scientific experiments, which went wrong. Steve Urkel later admitted that the change in focus strained his relationship with the rest of the crew. But there was no hiding who kept Family Matters live for 9 years. Steve Urkel made his magic.
It was completely him. Let's stop playing here. The most famous person that came from this show is him. He was a cultural phenomenon, absolutely. He still can probably go nowhere right now without being called Steve Urkel by every single millennial that passes him.
And all the cast members benefited financially despite their differences.
Right.
They receive residuals from the show even today. So all are smiling on the way to the bank.
Yeah, that's like 25 to like 3,500 a year, guys.
She was intelligent and beautiful, and she loved sexy nerds in suspenders. But be warned, she is clingy. Myra Monkhouse was introduced to the show as Steve Urkel's love interest, and the character developed later into his girlfriend. While she was intended to be a guest character, she became a permanent fixture of the show. Even though she was getting a lot of attention, partly due to the success of Steve Urkel, her role in the show was getting shorter and shorter. Ever wondered why? She was dying, not in the show, but sadly, in Myra's real life. Michelle Thomas portrayed the character Myra Monkhouse from the show's 4th season.
Okay.
She was a teen beauty queen and starred in The Cosby Show.
Yeah, I can see that.
And several popular TV programs before moving on to Family Matters. Unfortunately, Michelle Thomas was diagnosed with a rare form of stomach cancer called desmoplastic, small round cell tumor, in 1997. But she kept acting in the show. She was a vegetarian and she never drank or smoked. Cancer made her body weak. Her mother once said that a sedative that was supposed to put her to sleep for 20 minutes would have her sleeping for 4 days. She had to take more time off from acting due to surgery she underwent in 1997 and 1998. But all the treatments and surgeries could not save her. Michelle Thomas sadly passed away at the age of 30 on December 23, 1998, 5 months after the show ended.
Her mother said that he got in the bed with her and held her, and she was gone.
She was laid to rest in New Jersey after a Muslim funeral service, as per her request. Harriet Winslow.
Guys, I didn't know that, and I definitely watched the show growing up.
Didn't hang around for the show to finish. Halfway through the 9th season, she walked away, and Family Matters got a new mom. Did Jo Marie Payton get tired of playing Harriet Winslow? This is what Darius McCrary had to say about it.
Man, that was hard. That was really difficult. Yeah, Jo Marie, who the show was created for. Technically, a lot of people don't know this, but it was a spinoff from Perfect Strangers. She left the show just because of differences with the producers. But like I said, who am I to tell these people what they gonna do with their show? You created it for me. She left because of several differences, and she was replaced by a wonderful actress.
It was well known that Harriet Winslow, played by Jo Marie Payton, was upset about the changes in the show and the unexplained disappearance of Judy Winslow from the show in the 4th season. And clearly,
I'm gonna be honest, that was probably a bad idea. All right, now keep this in mind. Obviously, Judy didn't have much of a, didn't play much of a gigantic part, but I do think that for the sake of knowing what she turned into later, she should have probably had some more grounding, right? Or, I don't know, how do you stop that from happening in life? But a little bit more grounding, most likely, would have probably been beneficial for her existence, because she's nasty. All right.
Harriet Winslow did not like how the show centered on its star, Steve Urkel, much. Though she had wanted to leave for several years, Harriet Winslow had signed an 8-year contract, and the studio was not letting her go. But Jo Marie, who played Harriet Winslow, took advantage of a clause in the contract which allowed her to leave after the first half of season 9 had been recorded. And CBS had no option but to replace the Winslow family mom hastily with Judy Ann Elder. Imagine adapting to seeing a new mom in your favorite sitcom after 9 years.
Judy, didn't I ask you to straighten up in here?
Yeah.
Well,
You meant today?
Why did they fire Judy from the show? In one episode, Judy Winslow went upstairs but never returned to the show.
Right.
She simply disappeared, and the cast never spoke about her. It was as if she had never been there and never mattered. But her fans are still waiting. Judy was the youngest in the Winslow family
Don't worry, you can find her online.
and cast as a 9-year-old struggling for school grades and parents' attention.
Find her now online. Listen, that's weird. That's a weird statement to make. Okay, that's an absolute weird one. Oh, okay, listen, you can find like what she turned into in life. You can find online. All right, let's continue on.
But she was never on the sidelines. Judy got fired to make more airtime for Steve Urkel. Her character was not given less time, which usually happens in such a case when the characters evolve in a changing series. It was true that Steve Urkel was stealing the show, becoming such an icon that everyone else was playing second fiddle. But Judy was just let go. She simply disappeared, like she did not matter at all. And the producers expected the
Maybe that's why.
audience not to miss her character, as everybody would be so busy watching Steve Urkel destroy the Winslow house with his antics. And her life had never been the same. So what happened to Judy after the Family Matters let go of her? She went to do a photo shoot at 19, thinking she would be in a bikini and dancing around. But it was the beginning of her adult movie career.
Right.
She recalled her experience later.
Me being just wanting to make some money, wanting to be in the limelight, we went down to the video shoot, and it was a man with a female, and they were, engaging in sex.
Would the little girl you came to love as Judy go on to become a star if she was not fired from the show?
That's a great question.
After a hugely successful
Seriously.
journey, Family Matters ended on July 17th, 1998. Many say that with the ill-advised time slot change CBS Network did, the bottom fell out of Family Matters. Should there be a reboot of Family Matters? What are your thoughts?
No, absolutely not. All right, so here's the thing. I didn't know all the internal details. I didn't know. So I will say this here. I think this show caused that young girl to grow up to be that woman. Okay, her name is Crave. Why do I know that off the top of my head? It's not like I have firsthand knowledge. All right, but the thing is that's the root cause, no doubt here. There's no doubt that is the root cause here. Okay. But all right, listen. Oh, also, guys, just so we can go forward here, this is not my father, bro. All right, the fact that everyone continues to tell me that this is my father, I just gonna play along with this going forward. All right, so don't come at me in the comments. But a lot of people won't even make it to this here, so they'll just be in the comments being like, "That's your father?" No, it's not my father. But all right, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day. Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.